こんばんや。コミュシネカ大隊長 VTuber と DJ の Yuuki です。はい。Yuuki will be continuing Higurashi の泣く頃に解Tsumihoroboshi編. So last week we finished chapters 5 and 6. So today Yuuki will do chapters. Hopefully we'll get the chapters all 7 and 8. I can't guarantee, but Yuuki will try her best, of course. Okay. So yeah, we'll just continue right now. Now what happened basically is everyone, or the gang, found out that Rena killed Ritsuko and Teppe, and they were, or I guess they're worried, but then KT from his past experience that he was not supposed to remember at all, which he doesn't, but it comes through his mind sometimes, that that they need to, or they have to stick together basically, and they do. So that's where we are right now, and we're heading towards the Watanagashi Festival right now. The lovely Watanagashi Festival that happens every year, that lovely things happen afterwards. So that's where we'll get started, we'll load. Oh yeah, and the previous tip that came in was not great. Basically they found, or I think they're trying to clean up, or they're trying to beautify the place or something. And then not them, but or like the, what do you call it? The forestry service trying to beautify the place, and they decide to basically clean up, or yeah, clean or whatever, do stuff at the place where Rena and others buried Itsuko and Teppe. So yeah, that's how we ended. Chapter 6. So we're going to chapter 7 right now. Hi. Oh no. Oh no. Not very oishi. Welcome. Would you like a hot dog? Our shave ice is the best you've ever tasted. You can have it with strawberry syrup, melon syrup, or Hawaiian blue syrup. Try our takoyaki roulette. The winner's packed with a ton of mustard. There's a great many booths at this year's Watanagashi Festival. Anything can become a festival if there are vendors selling food and music for bone dances, I thought. It's still June, but it had been extremely hot in the past few days, almost as if it's summer already. When you have a June festival with bone dance music under this kind of weather, the only thing that's missing to make it a perfect summer festival is fireworks. This is Kumagi. Oh, this is Kumagai. Oishi-san, can you hear me? Over. I heard a voice coming from my portable radio. With this earphone, it looks a little like I'm secretly listening to horse races while on duty. This is Oishi. I can hear you loud and clear. The town counselors give us a lot of food. We have oden, yakisoba, pork belly stew, and some barley tea. No, you mean barley tea we can drink on duty, or the one we can't drink on duty? Well, if it's a canned drink, I'll take it. If it's in a cup, don't worry about it. Roger that. And all the members of the town council are here to say hi. We have the mayor and head of the Sonozaki family too. What? That old bad audio is here? Can you tell her that I'm patrolling right now and I don't know when I'll be back? Well, I don't think I can do that for you, sir. She knows you have a portable radio, so she told me to call you and bring you back here. She looks really angry. Nah, I'm sure it'll be a stroke that kills her. Roger that. Tell her with extreme courtesy that I'll be back soon. Please. Oh well, I just have to go back and mingle with the locals. All of a sudden, a group of kids came running towards me from behind, and after a quick look at them, I noticed they were the granddaughter of the old bag and her friends. They occupied a corner of the shooting gallery stall, making a lot of noise. Sonozaki Mion, when acting her age, sees a cute normal girl, but do I ever hate it when she acts like a member of the Sonozaki family. She'll be the boss of the Okinomiya Yakuza territory in 10 or 20 years. Just you wait and see. And while I'm thinking things like that, I noticed that Mion wasn't the one taking leadership of the group this time. It was the boy. That boy, I know him. He just moved here recently. The boy from the Maibara mansion. Maibara Keiichi-kun, was it? I heard that the Maibara family is from the city, and so they're supposedly very rich too. But he doesn't flaunt his family's wealth, and he has a good reputation because of that. Even though he just moved here, he's already adjusted to the new school, and he's popular with the classmates too. Everyone in the village seems to like him as well. He's very interesting to watch, as a person of many moods. Boys of his age sure have a lot of energy. To be young again. Hey, you're up next, Dana. You're lucky if it's your turn. Dana, are you okay? Are you feeling sick? I'm sorry. I guess I have to pass on taking a shot. Okay, you should take a break for a bit. So, that would make it my turn, no? Victory shall be mine. It looked like the four of them were having a good time. The girl called Dana seemed outside of that circle of smiles. Her name is Yugurina. What was her real name? I couldn't remember, but I can check when I get back to the station. Rena's only a nickname. I believe she moved here a year ago, a year before my Barakun did. Her mother divorced her father, or something like that. She's a strong girl who does all the housework by herself. She's a very modest girl, I'm told, which is very rare in this era. Unlike Marvano-kun, it seems like she hadn't really opened up to her friends just yet. It looked like a group of five, but there's a distance between her and the others. It's a little sad, you know. Marvano-kun has become a part of the village, but Rina's still by herself. Well, that's how it looks like it to me. Where's she on? The chief and the section manager are here. Please come back as soon as possible. Roger that. I can't believe the chief came all the way here just to say hi to the locals. I guess he's very dedicated to community service, eh? Oh, this is Takasugi. Oishi-san, can you hear me? Do you copy? Over? Yes, I hear you. I'm on my way back right now. I'll be there in a minute. If I don't hurry up, even the chief might end up calling me. I ran back to the headquarters tent. Oh, this is too... Speaking low... What do you call it? Low pitch is hard. Uh-oh. Is it gonna happen? It's gonna happen. The typical happens. Where those two break into the forbidden place and end up getting killed at the end of the night. Oishi-san, Irie-sensei's here. Oishi-san, 先生が到着してます。Oh, thank you so much for coming. So, what do you think, Irie-sensei? Oishi entered the cordon-off area. In there, people from forensics were taking pictures of the corpse from various angles. Irie was squatting down next to the dead body of Tomitake Jiro. When he stood up, he looked pale. I can't believe it. I know, I can't believe it either. As far as I can see, he clawed out his throat with his bare hands. This isn't a normal way to go. Most likely, this caused by some sort of drug or something. Are you sure he was a drug addict? Who knows? I guess it's gonna be my job to find that out. Oishi-san, what is with this 2x4? Maybe he was swinging it around, then he threw it away and had more fun clawing at his throat, I guess. Why is he stringing a piece of lumber around? He probably did it in self-defense. Did you notice there were several external injuries on his body? Yes, I can see some bruises. The easiest explanation I can think of is he was attacked by someone on his way home to Okinomiya from the festival. He was seized by the culprit, given a shot of some kind of dangerous drug, went crazy, and died. I never heard of any drug that can make people claw out their throats. I'm not a specialist, but many drug addicts injure themselves when they are in terminal condition. Well, I'm sure the old man forensic will take care of the investigation. Excuse me, Oishi-san. We found a bicycle that we believe belonged to Tomitake Jiro from about 100 meters away from here. Oh, that's great. Thanks for the find. And your clues? Not yet. They're investigating it right now. So that means the place where the bicycle was found was most likely the place where he was attacked. And he ran away from the suspect and died up here. Oishi-san crossed his arms in front of his chest. Ide was looking at the miserable corpse of Tomitake. And he kept saying the same thing over and over. It's impossible. It's just impossible. Sensei, it happened, so it's possible, okay? Try to think flexibly. Although I get that you don't really see something like this every day, despite being a doctor. Anyway, thanks for your cooperation. You can go home now. We called you here for emergency medical care, but it looks like it was a waste of the trip. Sorry. Jeez, like I was like I thought we were gonna go through the typical Watanagashi festival fun antics first for like a chapter. I guess we went straight into the death right after the death of Jiro-san. Can anyone give him a ride home? You hear gas all of a sudden as you turn to Oishi. What about Takano-san? What happened to Takano-san? What? Oh, your nurse? I think he was with him. Is he okay? Is she okay? Do you know her phone number? Of course. Kuma-chan. Get her phone number from Ide-sensei and make someone at the station call her house. Understood. Sensei, can I have the number? Yeah, here it is. Kumagai got the phone number from Ide. Repeated back and then dashed away from the blue tarps. Sensei, Takano-san and Tomitake-san were close friends, right? Yes. Have you heard any troubles between them? No, not even once. They were very close. Well, I hope she's okay. In the worst case, she could be dead, or she could be the culprit. I see. Nurses have access to dangerous drugs. Oh, we don't have that. We don't have anything like that in my clinic. Even if we did, we'd be extra careful with them. There's no way Takano-san could smuggle a drug out of my clinic. But it's easier for nurses to do it than for regular people, right? Like I said, I've never heard of a drug like that, and I don't have anything like that in my clinic. Oishi-san, she isn't at home. Is that right? And it says they're going to go to her house to check. Sensei, can you give me her address? Kumo-chan, Can you also check if the police headquarters has found any unidentified female bodies tonight? Maybe we should check the other prefectures too. Tell the section manager if you can call the headquarters in the nearby prefectures and ask if they have any identified female bodies. Yes, sir! Are you saying... I should probably hold on. Okay. Are you saying Takano-san might be dead? Well, no, I don't know. I don't know if she's dead or if she's the culprit. Of course, it's possible she's not involved at all. She might just be getting drunk in the bar somewhere. It's unbelievable. Who does things like this? Well, it's unbelievable to me too. This fits with the rest of the mysterious in Hinamizawa. It's been 5 years now. That would make this the 5th curse of Oyashiro-sama. Damn it, I have to get whoever's behind this for sure. Beatrice, hello! How are you doing? Let me not look. How are you doing? Hello, hello. Ah. Ah. I really want to put an end to these cases before I retire. Oishi hates the curse of Oyashiro-sama. It had been leading him around the nose for 5 consecutive years. And 5 consecutive chapters also. The victim of the first year, the manager of the damn construction site, was his friend. Despite his desires to defend his friend, the mystery had only deepened, and one case that followed another year after year. Oishi would be retired next March. As a retiree, he'd be able to ask about the progress of the investigation, but he wouldn't be able to take the initiative anymore. In other words, this was the first chance for revenge. Would he have to put his head in the lion's mouth to capture the culprit? Oishi quietly clenched his fist. I believe... Is this Oishi's? I'm gonna assume this is Oishi thinking. I believe this maze has an exit. Maze is a very convenient word. Maze always has an exit. You don't call it a maze if it doesn't have one. I know I'm on the right path towards the end of this maze. I used to miss these minor divergences, but now I don't miss anything. I don't make any mistakes. This time, I could feel a response that was different than all the other times. I'm sure I can finally get to the exit of this maze. But no matter which path I choose to come to at this point, Tomitake Jiro always dies. Eh? Wait. Does Oishi follow the same what do you call it? What footstop? Not footstop's not the right word. Chi-Chi? Eh? Or is that Chi-Chi? No, that was... Wait. Eh? Or was that Chi-Chi? No, that doesn't... Jenna has been sick ever since that day, and she hasn't been able to join in on club activities as often since. Yeah, I still feel feverish. You do, huh? That's a pity. Hey, Jenna, why don't you just try and play with us today? I think you'll feel a lot better if you blow up some steam with us. You got this old man's agreement. Do you think so? Do you? Sometimes resting too much is bad for you. They're quite correct. And all illness comes from the mind, don't you know? Everyone has expected for a while that Jenna isn't really sick, at least physically. It's just that many things happened to her at once. She's caught a mental cold. That's why I thought she would get better once she played with us, just like we used to. It seemed like Jenna was aware of that too. She knew she had to get out of her state of depression soon. She wanted to get better, and she wanted to have fun again every day. Okay, I'll do it. Great, that's the spirit. Considering the fact that Anna is recovering from her illness, let's play a tabletop game today. Let me see. Milan started rummaging through her locker, humming to herself. She took one game after another from the locker and put them aside. That locker definitely wouldn't obey the laws of physics. The amount of games she took out from the locker was more than what it could physically hold. Oh, I forgot about this one. Let's try this. Today we'll be playing this detective game. Oh, what's that? Sounds interesting. Well, this is a game where you can guess the culprit, the murder weapon, and the scene of the crime. Is it Clue? I think it's Clue. It's a game where you use your brain. You pick it up as you play. You'll pick it up as you play. All you need to do is to note down the information you have. Oh, in other words, you'll need to learn the trick of note-taking. This is a game for intelligent people like myself. The rules don't seem that difficult. In short, it's a game where you sound out the cards each player holds in order to try and reason out the identity of the cards first drawn out of the deck. There are plenty of games in different forms where you try to identify something hidden in the least amount of steps. This one happens to be a competitive one of those. The key to winning this game would be how well you can organize your information. We usually like to play athletic games, so we can run around a lot. But in our club, you have to excel both academically and athletically. Alright, this is gonna be great. Let's play! Elena, do you remember how we still haven't decided the winner of the water gun battle? I'm gonna settle it once and for all. Oh, you are? Then I'm not gonna go easy on you. If Rena's getting serious, then I'll have to get serious too. Yes, indeed. Since the water gun battle, I've reevaluated Keiichi-san and Rena-san. I'm gonna be merciless today. This is getting exciting. This old man's has been wanting everyone to get this fired up. Excellent. Let's do this. Are you ready? I did it with a knife in the library. Okay, my turn. Chi-Chi did it with poison in the hall. My turn. Neon did it with a pistol in the lounge. You're holding the pistol, aren't you? You're bluffing. I think I know the suspect in the murder weapon. I've narrowed the scene to the crime down to 2. Oh, you're good, Rika-chan. I've narrowed the suspect down to 2, but it's hard to pin down which one. I'll give you a tip. There's always a hint in the question the other players ask you. If you figure it out, you can even solve the whole mystery by the order of the cards the others put down on the table. I see. Damn it. I underestimated the depth of this game. Oh no. My notes are such a mess. I can't even read my own handwriting. Ahahaha. Once you acquire the skill of note-taking, you have a 70% chance of winning this game. But even a 70% chance won't be enough to defeat me. I kind of knew that I didn't stand a chance of winning this game, but I gradually started picking it up. Doesn't seem to be getting her energy back as she played along. It was a great decision to force her to play with us today. While we're in the middle of the game, Chi-sensei came into the classroom. My, you look like you're having fun. Anyway, is Yuuki-san here? Hello? You have a visitor. Everyone looked puzzled. Parents sometimes showed up at school for some reason, but Chie-sensei never called them visitors. It's weird to have a visitor at school. Oh no. Is it who I think it is? I wonder who it is. Well, I have to go. You can continue without me. You know what left the classroom at a run. What should we do? Should we wait for her? Well, we don't know how long it's gonna take. Jenna told us we could continue, so let's do that. Yeah. Is it a certain not yummy person? Around the entrance, the glaring sun and the cool shade made for a clear contrast. Yep. Yep. An old man who's wearing his jacket on his arm was waiting for me. He looked like he was overheating and his tie was limp. Are you Yuuki-san? Reina-san? Ever since Dina called me Reina, I hated that name more than ever. Because of that, I didn't have a good impression of this man. Yeah, that's me. May I ask who you are? My car is air conditioned, so why don't we move this into here? Aren't you hot out there? Well, instead of Keiichi in the AC car, it's Dana-san. Dana-chan. No. He ignored my question and started walking towards the car parked in the front of the school gate. If he wanted to talk about something normal, he would have used the teacher's office. but he wanted to talk in his car instead. I couldn't help but feel suspicious. Chie-sensei let him see me though. That meant he wasn't a suspicious individual as far as she was concerned. Who was he?
I don't bite, you know. Please, this way.
He called out to me while opening the rear door. Is he a policeman? Did the police find out I killed those two? I felt anxious all of a sudden. Was this what they called a voluntary interview? I didn't want to go in the car, but if I rejected his offer, it'd only make me more look suspicious. I prepared myself and got in. It was really cool inside the car. A car AC must cost a fortune. At least my father's car didn't have one.
Please, let me know if it's too cold. I like keeping it that way.
So what does this talk about? In retaliation, I ignored his question and got to the point like he did. He pulled out a small notebook out of his breast pocket and flipped through it. He picked out a photo from it. The photo showed the face of a goofy-looking man.
Please tell me if there's anything you know about this person.
The man in the picture was expressionless and looked half asleep. Sometimes you can't even recognize your own family members in the photo where they don't have an expression. So there's no way I would recognize a person who wasn't related to me. But anyway, that was a bit of a relief. This had nothing to do with Lina or her partner. There were scribbles on his shirt, and we found
There are scribbles on his shirt, and we found the signatures of students at the school, including yours, Yuuki-san.
Eh? Is this Omitake-san? I don't feel his usual carefree unreliableness from this picture at all. From this half-awake, emotionless face.
How about this woman then?
I knew what he was gonna show. Her name was Mio-san. Takano Mio-san.
When did you see them last?
I think it was right after the Watanagashi festival.
Didn't you notice anything strange? Anything? Please tell me.
Did something happen to them?
Yeah! I got it! To tell you the truth, I wasn't sure if it was Dina or Mion.
So you gambled? How risky. It doesn't matter how he won. What matters is that he won. Oh, Rena, welcome back.
What took you so long? Mion noticed that Rena had returned. She looked exhausted. I have no idea what she talked about with the visitor, but it's obvious it wasn't something fun. Rena, are you okay?
What? What's okay? What?
I'm talking about you. You look pale. Are you sure you're right? Rena tried to convince us that she was fine, but her face clouded over for a moment, and she decided to leave early. I shouldn't have forced her to join the game. I was regretting it a little bit. Rena probably forced herself to play with us, even though she wasn't feeling well at all. Rena put her stuff in the bag, apologized to us for leaving early and left the classroom. Well, she's gone now. I guess we'll have to keep playing until we have a loser. That's right. Whose turn is it?
Me.
Okay, Rika-chan, come on.
Me.
First of all, I wasn't very close to Mio-san. I knew who she was, so I greeted her whenever we happened to pass by. But that was about it. I never really talked to her except for that one time. And that one time was only recently. It was between the day of the Watanagashi festival and the day I was caught in the act of burying the two corpses by Keiichi-san and my friends. Keiichi-kun and my friends. I had a phone call from the library that evening, and I was told that my father needed to return the book he borrowed. He was shopping at the home improvement store at the time, so I went to the library to return the book for him. While I was there, I thought about borrowing some books for myself, and I started walking around the library. I saw her there. Oh, Rina-chan. Hello!
Mio-san. Hello to you too. I didn't expect to see you here.
Really? I was going to say the same thing. I always spend time here, but I've never seen you.
Hehe. She smiled in a very attractive and charming way that only a mature woman can do. Her smile gave me no indication that she knew her death was just a few days away.
Oh, kusu. Kusu. Did she laugh with a kusu? I'm trying to remember the anime. She said she often met with Tomitake-san
She said that she often met with Tomitake-san at the library. It seemed like she had time to kill. She told me she wanted to buy me a drink. I had nothing to do after that. I let her buy me a canned iced milk tea from the vending machine in the library, and we talked for a while. Once I came to think of it, it was a little ironic. She mostly talked about the series of mysterious deaths in Hinamizawa. She had no idea she was going to be a victim of its 5th year. The series of mysterious deaths?
You've heard at least one, haven't you? 4 years ago, the manager of the dam construction site was murdered. 3 years ago, the Hojo couple died. 2 years ago, the Furude couple died. And last year, it was Satoko-chan's son. The mysterious deaths have been going on for 4 years now, and in a few days, it will be the 5th.
I've heard about it, but you don't know for sure that someone will die. You don't know for sure that someone will die this year.
I do. Someone will die in a few days for sure. There's an old saying, everything that happens twice will happen a third time. So this isn't... So it isn't it always also true that what happens 4 times will happen the 5th?
Mio-san was convinced that the 5th mysterious death was gonna happen, but she didn't know she was gonna be the 5th victim. That's ironic and also really creepy. But there was always something creepy about her. So maybe she knew that she was gonna be killed in a few days, but still managed to make a mysterious smile. The series of mysterious deaths in Hinamizawa. Of course, I know about it. I live here more than a year. Every year, on the day of the Watanagashi festival, one trader of the village dies mysteriously. It's been that way since the damn conflict. Each case was solved individually, but mysterious incidents still happened every year. It makes me wonder if there's some kind of will to all of this. The creepiness and the incomprehensibility of it all gave rise to the name The Curse of Oyashiro-sama, which fit perfectly. Despite this, I always thought The Curse of Oyashiro-sama was just a series of coincidences. My reason for that was because I strongly believe that Satoshi-kun was the one who murdered his aunt on the 4th year. I don't have any resident evidence, but I just know it. I know that Satoshi-kun was in serious predicament last year, and that he had nowhere to turn. He had no one to help him, but he had to save Sotoko-chan as soon as he could. Satoshi-kun thought it through and made the best choice he could to handle the situation, just like I did when I had my problem with Ina. I hesitated to inform Mio-san that Satoshi-kun was the murderer on the 4th year, so I just listened to her for a while. According to her theory, the series of mysterious deaths isn't just a set of coincidences, but is instead a series of interrelated murder cases. At my point, my theory was completely opposite of hers, but I decided not to cut in. You know the cult of Oyashiro-sama here in Hinamizawa, don't you? Takuna-san started telling me that Hinamizawa was once called Onigafuchi. She also explained the story of how the villagers were in the old days, showing me the scrapbook she was proud of. The villagers back then were called man-eating demons, but they were also admired as transcendent, enlightened people not bound by earthly desires. So, according to your theory, a group of cultists who worship Oyashiro-sama are living in Hinamizawa and are trying to show the power of their god by enacting a series of deaths, right? I'm not sure if we should call them cultists or fundamentalists. The line between them is very vague. In the Meiji era, when the name of the village was changed to Hinamizawa, the customs and the traditions of Onigafuchi were brought to an end. I think there were some people who wanted to revive the traditions
and regained the name and all of Onigakuchi.
Mio-san's theory was more than a little crazy, but it was also fascinating. At first, her theory sounded like she was trying to jump to conclusions, but after she eagerly showed me the documents she had been studying, I started to think that it wasn't actually too far from the truth. If her theory was true, it would mean that the accidental death of the Hojo family in the second year, the suicide and the death by disease of the Furude family in the third year, and the drug addict murder in the fourth year were all cooked up. Someone who has a lot of power and influence over the place was involved. When I pointed that out, Mio-san nodded in agreement, and she started talking about how strongly they were rooted in the village and how deeply they were involved with many public organizations. After she finished explaining that all, I finally noticed that Mio-san was suggesting that the three families, including the Sonozaki family, were the masterminds behind the murder incidents. In fact, the Sonozaki family is really powerful. They hold influence not only over Hinamizawa and Okinomiya, but also all over the Shishibone area. It might not be wrong to say that they even hold influence over the entire prefecture. If the Sonozaki family is behind all of this, their theory would be more realistic. But that means I should be suspicious of Mi-chan. No, I shouldn't. But in fact, Mi-chan was cold and unkind to Satoshi-kun when he was going through a tough time. I know there was conflict between the Sonozaki family and the Hojo family during the dam wars, but still, she was very cold to Satoshi-kun. But Mi-chan admitted what she did was wrong, and I forgave her too. I didn't want to think about it again. I decided to change the subject because I knew it'd make me more uncomfortable if we kept talking about the Sonozaki family. First of all, what is the people's belief in Oyashiro-sama all about? It's a little funny that demons and humans wanted to coexist. In folktales, humans usually try to wipe out the demons. That's quite true. That's why Oyashiro-sama's interesting. However, there are many stories that say people in the old days worshipped a god that had drifted to our world from the land of the gods. It's the worship of drifted gods, in other words. There are a number of myths all over the world about people worshipping a god who came from beyond the sea or from up the river. The gods in these myths are actually people who came from different countries, right? This is a general theory, yes. Ancient Japanese culture was far behind that of other nations. When Japanese people in these days saw a foreigner from a developed country, they were so impressed by the knowledge that the person had that they started worshipping them as a god. That's one theory. I heard that Red Oni and Blue Oni were actually foreigners who drifted ashore in Japan because their boats were shipwrecked. The Japanese may have created Tengu out of foreigners too. They probably saw a foreigner who had reddish skin with a very long nose. Wow, you're pretty sharp, Rena-chan.
I agree with you. I think most drifted god worship are based on encounters with foreigners. But if that's so, Onigafuchi's drifted god worship would have a contradiction. Do you know what it is?
No, I don't.
It's easy. Onigafuchi is an ancient adjacent to the sea.
Oh, of course.
In order to have connection to foreigners, the place in question must also have a connection to the outside world. In Western countries, that connection would be rivers running between ancient countries. In Japan, that connection would be the ocean. So most drifted god stories in Japan originated near the shores.
Isn't there a possibility that the foreigner washes her somewhere else first, then travel to Onigafuchi?
Well, the thing about the worship of Yashiro-sama is it specifically points Onigafuchi's swamp as the place where demons appeared first. The swamp isn't connected to any rivers, so how could a foreigner wash up there? That's why the mystery of Oyashiro-sama is so interesting. How much do you know about the legend of Oyashiro-sama?
I just read.
Oh, shoot. Go, man.
I just read a picture about it in school. Picture book about it in school. I feel like I know a lot about it, but I actually don't. I just have an extreme fear of the rule to not leave Inamizawa. After my life went wrong. After I left, I felt dizzy when I tried to think about it further, so I stopped. When everything went wrong in Ibaraki, I met Oyashiro-sama and he told me to go back to Hinamizawa. No, I'll get dizzy. Don't try to remember. I can't remember. I got desperate because I felt responsible for the divorce. I just used Oyashiro-sama as an excuse for my mental instability. I told my father I wanted to go back to Hinamizawa. Right? But wait. Oyashiro-sama did come back to me. Oh no, the colors are too dazzling. I could only remember the vivid colors of the pills and the dizziness. That's all you need to know. The demons came out of Onigafuji's swamp and they attacked the villagers. Oyashiro-sama saw and came down to save the villagers from the demons by exiling them to hell. The demons cried and the villagers felt bad for them. They decided to let the demons live in the village with them. Oyashiro-sama was impressed by the kind hearts of the villagers, so he gave human forms to the demons and let them coexist. The blood of the demons blended with that of the villagers as they lived alongside each other. That's exactly what I read in the book. I felt dizzy, like I was gonna faint because I touched that one memory I didn't want to.
People say that most myths are based on an event of some sort that happened long ago. What event do you think is the truth behind this myth?
Because I was still feeling dizzy, all I could do was tilt my head quizzically. It seemed like Miho-chan was expecting that response, because she smiled. Looking satisfied, she successfully made me confused. She took a scrapbook out of her paper bag.
I'll let you borrow this for a while.
Thank you. But
Don't worry, just read it whenever you have some time to kill. I want to know what you think about the things written on the scrapbook. I like to know even if you disagree with me, because you are really very sharp. Shiro-san isn't interested in things like this, so I appreciate your input.
I had little choice but to take the scrapbook. Apparently, Mio-san came to the library often, so I figured I could return it to her whenever I could return my books. However, the day I returned the scrapbook to Mio-san never came.
What's wrong? You don't look good. Are you feeling okay?
I caught the summer cold. And I'm still recovering from it. It wasn't the summer cold that was making me feel dizzy. I always feel dizzy when I try to remember the time I met Oyashiro-sama in Ibaraki. I mustered all of my courage and asked her. My memory of those days in Ibaraki is blurry. I know I met Oyashiro-sama. Nobody believed me, and they told me I was hallucinating. But I thought Mio-san would listen to me. Mio-san, can I talk to you about something?
Yes, of course. You listen to me, so it's my turn to listen to you.
Well, it's about Oyashiro-sama. You might want to laugh at me.
I won't. You didn't laugh at me either.
Mio-san said it in such a very gentle and mature way, and that encouraged me. Even so, I still hesitated to talk. But there was probably nobody but Mio-san whom I can talk about something like this. I gathered my courage again and spoke. I have met Oyashiro-sama.
You have?
Yes. I used to live in Hinamizawa until right before I went to elementary school. But my mother got a job in Ibaraki, so we moved. Well, you know what that means, right?
Yes, I do. You broke the rule of Oyashiro-sama, which is to never leave Hinamizawa.
That's right. And then many things happened. My mother divorced my father, and my family's broken. I got desperate and did some bad things.
It must have been terrible. Then what happened?
I started hating everything in this world. I started to feel like everyone was looking down at me. That's when a mysterious existence started to appear.
You mean Oyashiro-sama?
The first time it came to me was, please don't tell anyone about this. And it was when I started interning myself by cutting my body with a knife. I cut my neck, and something very dirty and gross came out with the blood from the wound. It was,
I'm not gonna laugh. Go on.
The chill I felt at that time came back to me. I sealed that memory away, so I couldn't I wouldn't have to remember ever again. But once I unsealed it, I started remembering things one after another. Yes, back then, there was something in the blood, something crawling. It was countless dark red maggots. Many squirm up and out of my neck with each drop of blood. But they wanted to stay in my body, so they crawled back in through the cut. I didn't want those creepy things to get back inside my body. So I clawed out at the cut of my neck to get them out. But it hurt so much. It only made my hands and my neck bloody. I got scared all of a sudden. I was scared because I thought there were many nasty maggots in my blood vessels. So I cut a blood vessel on my thigh just to see how it looked. I thought I could see it better if it was my thigh. Then they oozed out from there too. Many of them. I understand, Ryugu-san, so please calm down. No, you don't understand. The maggots came out of my blood, and they try to get inside my vein. It really itches. Ah! Please bring a doctor. No, don't claw at it like that. Bring me sedative. Hurry! Hold her down. Please kill the maggots in my veins. Please take out all the blood in my body and flush my veins out. There's so many of them there. Why don't you believe me? I'll show you. You believe me if you see them, right? I don't want to get any more shots. No. Calm down, okay? Mio-san sat next to me and held my hands tightly. Her touch brought me back to reality. So, what happened? Nobody believed me, but then he showed up. Oyashido-sama came to me. My memory was very vague, and I saw flickering lights. It made it difficult for me to remember. I met Oyashido-sama. That sentence is all I remembered. The memory of actually meeting Oyashido-sama was unbelievably vague. After I got out of the hospital, I continued being treated at home. I still felt something moving out of my veins, so I wanted to cut my body to make the blood ooze out so I could make sure there were no maggots in there. Usually, I was sleeping like the dead because of the strong pills I was taking. But one day, I forgot to take the pill, and my consciousness was very clear. I felt the maggots moving in my veins, and I felt the urge to look inside. I cut a vein on my wrist. I knew it. A lot of blood and many dusky red maggots came out of the wound. I wanted to wash them off before they crawled back inside me. So I put my wrist under the running water in the bathroom sink, and I tried to open the vein. Water, blood, and maggots ran down into the drain, just like squeezing the pus out from a pimple. I squeezed the vein to get rid of the dirty blood and the maggots. I kept doing it. My arms started to feel numb and I felt cold, but I kept doing it. I thought I might die from losing too much blood, but I kept doing it. My body was filled with maggots. I had to squeeze all my blood out of me. And then, a very bright light shone upon me. It was a very bizarre sensation. I never experienced anything like that in my life. All of a sudden, the dark bathroom was filled with a bright light. It was very bright, but gentle.
It wasn't like the light from a merciless fluorescent bulb. It was very warm and gentle. That was Oyashiro-sama. Oyashiro-sama was looking at me with gentleness and sadness in his eyes. As he touched my wound, the maggots started melting and disappeared in front of my eyes. That wasn't all. All the maggots that were moving throughout all my veins disappeared too. Oyashiro-sama told me these maggots were the curse. The people of the demon's blood can't live outside of Hinamizawa. It's the rule. Unfortunately, you've been cursed. It's very sad, and I feel sorry for you. There is only one way to save you. That's what he said. What should I do? The answer was very simple. All I needed to do was go back to Hinamizawa. I consciously knew that before I heard from Oyashiro-sama. People who are born in Hinamizawa could not leave, must never leave. But I broke Oyashiro-sama's rules, and I left Hinamizawa. As my family was broken, and I lost my friend. If I hadn't left Hinamizawa, nothing would have gone wrong. And so, I had to go back. Oyashiro-sama also told me this. He could make the maggots, the embodiment of the curse, disappear, but only temporarily, because I live far from Hinamizawa. After a year, the power of Oyashiro-sama would fade away today. And the curse would start eating my body again. If that happened, the maggots would take over my body, and I would go insane and die. I must go back to Hinamizawa before his power to hold down the curse faded away. That's what Oyashiro-sama told me. He did. I heard him tell me that. I should have gone back to Hinamizawa earlier. That's why Oyashiro-sama came to me to put a curse on me. But he gave me a chance. He gave me a chance to pay for my sin of leaving Hinamizawa. Dad, listen. Oyashiro-sama is gonna help us. Let's go back to Hinamizawa. Hinamizawa is the place where we must live. If we don't, not only me, but you might be cursed too. Let's go back to Oyashiro-sama. That's the only place we can live. We need to hurry. We need to hurry, or Oyashiro-sama's power will fade away, and my body will be eaten by the maggots. Oh no. Oyashiro-sama's following me. He's telling me to hurry. He follows me everywhere and keeps telling me to hurry. He keeps apologizing to me for putting his curse on me. He follows me everywhere and keeps apologizing. I'm telling you the truth. I am. Why can't anyone see it? Why can't anyone see the maggots or Oyashiro-sama? Everyone is trying to fool me. I know they can see them too. No, please stop. I don't want to get another shot. Ah! Are you okay? I was breathing hard, and Mio-san was holding my shoulders. I could feel that terrible memory I'd been trying to forget was awakened. The doctors told me that memory was my delusion. They told me since I blamed myself for the divorce, I had unconsciously had the desire to blame someone else for it. And I unconsciously connected the desire to the folktale of Oyashiro-sama that I read when I was little. I got drug treatment, received counseling, and waited. I gradually got better, and that proved the things I saw were just a hallucination. The doctors asked my father to consider moving to Hinamizawa if possible. Fortunately, he wanted to change his living environment to heal his pain from the divorce as well. So we came back to Hinamizawa. After we came back to Hinamizawa, I felt it. I felt it in my bones that this was the place we should live. And also I felt Oyashiro-sama's blessing. I definitely felt it. I felt the curse of Oyashiro-sama starting to break. I was free. After moving here, I went to the clinic in Gokura for a while. The doctor gave me the same poisonous looking pills, and I kept taking them for a while. The terrible memory gradually became unclear. Whenever I tried to remember it, I could only remember the strong side effect of the pills, and it made me dizzy. That's how I regained my peace. And then I changed my name, Reina. The reason was because it reminded me of those bad dreams. I didn't want to have anything icky in my life anymore. That's why I came up with the idea of taking icky things out. After I took the I of icky out of my name, Reina, there would only be Re and Na left. That's how Rena was born. I like that. When I introduced to my classmates, I told them to call me Rena. Since then, that had been my name. I'm living my new life as Rena. I cut all the sad things that happened when I was Rena. When I was Reina. My father still calls me Reina, but I don't feel bad as long as it was just my father and my relatives. But then Nina came into my life one day and she called me Reina. Because she called me Reina, those colored lights started flickering again. I should stop. I should forget about it. The lights were still flickering. I'm sorry. Was I panicking that badly? You were muttering to yourself. I'm glad you calmed down. Judging by Mio-san's reaction, I wasn't panicking as badly as I thought. But I probably had those panic hallucinations several times. If I started screaming and yelling like I once did, they'd take me away to a hospital again for sure. I'm certain that I met Oyashiro-sama. I saw the maggots. It's hard to believe, right? Mio-san smiled, looking a bit confused. I couldn't blame her. I didn't expect her to believe me. I'm sure it was just a strange memory I created for myself in my hallucinations. I can't believe I can't trust myself. That's the worst feeling of all. Luna-chan, first of all, you don't have to worry about anything. Yes. I'm talking about the curse you're afraid of, and the maggots you saw in your blood. According to what Oyashiro-sama said, you're free from them as long as you stay in Hinamizawa, right? Yes, that's what he said. Then you don't have to be scared. You don't have to worry about anything. You're in Hinamizawa, right? Right now. You're in Hinamizawa right now. Well, this library is in Okinomiya, but it's very close to Hinamizawa. I'm sure it's okay with Oyashiro-sama. You don't have to feel anything moving in your veins right now, do you? You don't feel anything moving in your veins right now, do you? No, I don't. So there's nothing to worry about. You're following Oyashiro-sama's rules. There's nothing you should be scared of, is there? Right? No. I didn't know until that she was such a warm-kinded person. I met many doctors and talked to them about this, but they always ignored me. And they didn't really listen. All they did was give me a shot of a drug I hated. On the other hand, Mio-san didn't deny my story or the existence of Oyashiro-sama. The people in this village whispered behind her back, and that she's a little crazy. But she was actually a very kind person, I thought. Rina-chan, I believe you just told me everything you just told me. Thank you so much. You're the first one to ever say that to me. Hehe, so are you. You're the first one who didn't laugh at me and listen to me seriously. I think we can be good friends. Mio-san smiled, touching my head with hers. Well, I'll let you borrow my secret files and my scrapbooks. These are top secret. I didn't want to show these to anyone, but you're special. I think I can trust you. I know you can take them seriously. She took a few scrapbooks out of her paper bag and handed them to me. Let me know what you think after you read them. There might be something in them that you can understand. Yuuki-san was acting mysterious. She smiled mischievously and put her index finger on her lips as a sign to keep it a secret. Don't tell anyone about these scrapbooks or I'm starting this, okay? We're keeping this a secret, okay? We're keeping this a secret? Okay, I got it. If they find out that I've been studying this, they might get rid of me. Oh, is it kusu again? Kusu. It is kusu. I need to watch this again. I don't remember her saying kusu. She laughed out after she said that. They might erase her, that's what she said. And she went missing. She left me her scrapbooks. But that's not all there is to it. It's the way the way Tomitake-san died. Oishi-san said he committed suicide because of a state of excitement caused by some kind of drug, but I know what really happened. I didn't want to tell Oishi-san about it. I don't think he would have believed me if I'd told him. Without a doubt, Tomitake-san died trying to get rid of the maggots. There's nothing other than the curse of Oyashiro-sama. To never leave Hinamizawa isn't the only rule of Oyashiro-sama. There are more. He might have broken one of them without knowing it. Oishi-san told me. Tomitake-san was taking pictures with his camera flash during the sacred ritual dance, and some people got mad at him for it. Did Oyashiro-sama put a curse on Tomitake just because he violated the sacred ritual dance? It might be for another reason. Anyway, he died from the curse of Oyashiro-sama without a doubt. Did that mean Oyashiro-sama put his curse on Mio-san too? Investigating the gods is the same as getting as close to the gods. It's disrespecting them. But Mio-san told me that they might get rid of her if they find out about her investigation. By they, she meant humans. Plus, according to her theory, the three families are in a conspiracy to retrieve the faith of Oyashiro-sama, or revive the faith of Oyashiro-sama. But I can tell by the way Tomitake-san died, that it was the act of the curse. I'm certain about it because I experienced the curse myself, and at first glance, it seemed incomparable with those conspiracy theories about human beings. I remember that Oishi-san told me something about some kind of drug that can make a person commit suicide. So did the three families have a secret drug that can cause the curse of Oyashiro-sama? That's impossible. Plus, I didn't get any shots of a suspicious drug like that. I had a normal life in Higurashi. I wasn't involved with the Sonozaki family or the Kimiyoshi family. Oishi-san asked me a favor. He told me to tell him secretly if I saw or heard anything suspicious. It could be about Mi-chan or Rika-chan or anybody in the village. Mio-san believed my story about Oyashiro-sama. Now she is gone. Tomitake-san died by doing the same thing I did. No. I didn't want to get involved with the curse of Oyashiro-sama. Is this a conspiracy of a group of fanatical cult members? Or is it a cause of Oyashiro-sama? Is everything just a set of coincidences? Or maybe it's a mixture of conspiracy and a curse? I don't know. Is this the work of humans, the curse, or coincidence? Oh no. Even the light in the sunset was making me feel dizzy. When did the sunlight in Hinamizawa get so mean? Mio-san told me to keep her investigation secret. I've heard top secret scrapbooks. They might hold the truth about everything. When I realized that, I got scared all of a sudden. I might end up the same way as Mio-san, because I have her scrapbooks. If it's a conspiracy, I'll be erased. If it's the curse, I'll be cursed. I should burn the scrapbooks. It's the safest thing to do. But Mio-san believed my story. Mio-san listened to me without laughing. it would feel wrong if it'd feel wrong to burn them without taking a look. If it was a conspiracy, I have to expose it. If it's a curse, I have to break it. I shouldn't run away. I should fight. That's right. I decided to fight, to seize my happiness. I shouldn't give in to misfortunes. I have to fight. I'm gonna get rid of all the things that are trying to ruin my peaceful life. I'm going to read her scrapbooks when I get home. I started walking faster. That took a lot longer than I thought. Icky things, believe in a conspiracy. Hi, take lunch takeout list. Attention, Kuroda Mental Clinic. Hello. To get straight to the point, we can assume that this is an acute case of post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. The patient of this patient is subject to tremendous stress because of her parents' sudden divorce and being forced to live with either her mother or her father. Furthermore, the patient firmly believes that she was responsible for her parents' divorce, which further drives her to self-mutilation. The patient's largest shock stems from a sense of betrayal of her own household, which she believed was an absolute safe haven. Henceforth, there's a high possibility that the patient will resort to psychological defense measures to protect her family. For example, she might feel high disdain for any person of the opposite sex who approaches her father. She might feel uncomfortable about having other people in her home. She may also display eccentric behavior in order to keep people away from it. As an example of the latter, there are reported cases of patients unconsciously bringing home garbage. It's highly important that the patient remains in close communication with her father. By deepening the communication between the two of them, they'll strengthen their family bond and loosen up their anxiety. Since the patient only shows signs of acute syndrome in this case, there is a good chance that she'll recover within 3 months with her father's support and proper medication. However, it's common for a patient who seems to have recovered to have a sudden reoccurrence. A flashback, even after 10 years. Her father is still fairly young, and there's still a chance he could remarry. However, seeing an unfamiliar member of the opposite sex through remarriage could trigger a flashback in the patient, which may lead to avoidance behavior or hyper-awareness. Please explain this part thoroughly to the father in order for him to understand the recovery process. Should the father decide to marry, it's recommended that he should hold off telling the patient until she reaches an age where she's capable of living independently. Also, the case of the patient's psychosomatic self-mutilating behavior, delusional peristosis, seems to be on its own culture-bound syndrome. The patient blindly believes that leaving her home village will cause a curse, and that this curse was the cause of her parents' divorce. We believe that this subconscious defense mechanism to reduce her mental trauma by shifting the blame from herself to her village curse. According to the patient's statement, the culture of her home village is extremely strict and exclusive. The patient believes that there is no way to be saved from the curse other than by going back to the village, as the curse will continue as long as she lives in the current environment. and believe the chances, through this we see an inclination of schizophrenia, and believe the chances are high that the patient will continue to alter their perceived reality. Schizophrenia, a case where a patient's personalities are reduced, causing altered perceptions of reality and delusions. Her delusions about maggots dwelling in her blood is a perfect example. It's also cause of her psychosomatic self-mutilating behavior. When a delusion involves psychosomatic self-mutilating behavior, it's extremely dangerous. I would highly recommend for the father to move back to the village if he's financially capable. Allowing her to live with relatives in the village might also work. If such a strong belief can induce symptoms such as self-mutilation, then there might be other cases similar to this one. Perhaps prior medical files that document similar culture-bound syndromes may be available at a large medical institution in her local area. Then it then will be possible to provide better and more accurate medical care for the patient by obtaining these case files. This B5 size letter was with a bunch of memos. The following was the backside of the letter. 1 chukadon, 3 Shanghai style gomoku yakisoba, 1 large fried rice. Lunch takeout list. That's like the last thing was the lunch takeout list. Okay, that went a lot longer than expected. Well, actually, I might just end it here. Gomenya. Tomorrow Yuki will continue Higurashi, and hopefully Yuki can do 2 chapters tomorrow. Yuki isn't feeling the greatest because Yuki hasn't slept much the past several days. So Yuki probably should get some rest, go to sleep. Then hopefully by tomorrow Yuki can do 2 chapters. Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, I'll change it so that Yuki will do chapters 8 and 9 tomorrow. Hi. Okay, so anyways, thank you so much for coming to Yuki's Higurashi stream. Arigato nya. Before Yuki. Before Yuki ends the stream, Yuki will go through the schedule for the rest of this week. Tomorrow Yuki will be, like Yuki said, Yuki will continue, Higurashi. Hopefully we'll get through 2 chapters tomorrow. Let me get some rest. And on Friday will be, Phasmo collab stream with, Ru and, Akun. And on Saturday, Yuki will, Silent Hill F. All of the streams will be at, tomorrow's stream and Saturday's stream will be at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Friday's collab stream will be at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. はい、明日に日暮らしを続くにゃ。第8章と第9章を読むにゃ。 日曜日、あ、違う。土曜日に、ファズモコラボ配信や、ルーと、エイくんとコラボするにゃ。日曜日に、サイレントヒル F を続くにゃ。明日と、日曜日の配信は、10時にの時間。土曜日のコラボ配信は、11時日本時間。はい。So anyways, thank you so much for coming to Yuki's. Higurashi Shim, arigato nya. Sorry, Yuki couldn't do 2 chapters today. The first chapter 7 was really long, so probably, and Yuki is tired, so it's probably better that Yuki continues tomorrow instead of trying to push through it, especially since Yuki should probably rest her throat also. But yeah, Yuki will be back tomorrow. Yuki won't be reading, but Yuki hopes to see you tomorrow for more Higurashi. So anyways, let's sing a bye-bye.